We are somewhat to the bottom of the gorge. And we see our first waterfall up there. Does that waterfall have a name, Jody?
I think we go this way. Go left on the Gorge Trail and go right on.
So it's been raining here. Rained all night. A staircase of waterfalls. So how many waterfalls are there? 19. Apparently I was in Jody's way. That's what she said. She didn't really say I was in her way, I don't think. I think she just said get out of my way, so I take that as the same thing. So it's currently not raining, but these rocks straight above me are dripping. The water's dripping off the rocks up above. So I wasn't nervous about the rocks from above until I see it all dripping. Come over here. And there's a bridge up there that you can walk across on the way back. So who would have guessed? You spend so much time out west and see all the cool things, you kind of forget there's cool things to the east also. Probably can't hear me because of the waterfall, but the trail goes underneath the water. Pretty muddy under here. You gotta squat down. Now we walk up this cave area. It's a spiral cave. I'm wore out. This guy up here is carrying a baby. On the way back, we'll come down a trail and cross that bridge up there. More waterfalls. I can't remember, there's 17 or 19 waterfalls. So far, I haven't seen anything too sketchy where I think I might fall and die. Looks like you go out there and go swimming here. So you get down there about 100 feet and then you fall like 100 feet to your battered, bruising death. So I brought my walking stick because I wasn't sure, and I probably didn't need it except for these big mud puddles, so it helps navigate across these long mud puddles. I'll get my feet too wet. So continuing, we came up some steps. Like I said, the trail's pretty wet, but not so much that it keeps you from getting through. Usually there's enough high spots where you can navigate over the water puddles, keep your feet from getting too wet. My feet are getting wet only because the water's splashing up on them, but that's okay. So we must be about 75, 100 feet above the river thing. Another waterfall. I don't know if these waterfalls have names or not. Comes a whole group of people. We broke out into a clearing a little bit, have a little bit of sunshine after about 48 hours of rain. There's another waterfall up here to the left. So it's about, I would say about 58 degrees, but it's very humid and I am sweating. I guess climbing up and down hundreds of steps will do that to you. So the gorge goes way up there. Not exactly how far, between 100 and 200 feet. Maybe I read it's 280 feet from the river or creek to the top of the gorge. So once again, we're in Watkins Glen. So this is what I'm talking about. You can get across these water puddles strategically. Jody strategically just walks through the water typically. I do have another pair of shoes in the van. Typically I always take 2 pairs of shoes on vacations because one pair will get wet at some point. I'll want to switch them out. Here's your picture. Another waterfall up there. Looks like another little bridge. Just coming on another little tunnel or cave. We walked through lots of things that appear to be sketchy. We walked through lots of things that appear to be sketchy, only to look at it later and think to myself, man, that looked awful sketchy. The thing we just walked through looked kind of sketchy. When I mean sketchy, like someday it might fall down. Hopefully not today. We are entering Central Cascade area. Looks like a good spot to try to take a break. This came from that direction there. We are walking from east to west. So it's we started our maybe about 8:30. We're camping. People by us had a dog that started barking about 6 o'clock in the morning continuously.
Make sure you get her in the picture.
Looks like a cool spot to go swimming. I wonder if back in the day you could maybe not, I'll say jump off this bridge into that water, but it's quite a ways. There's beautiful wife. Scary wife. Look at that water dripping up there. Alright, it's time for a selfie. It looks like you get wet up here. And people are thinking about it. Let's watch them go through there. I don't know those people. I guess you don't get too wet. So we gotta take another selfie here. Okay. I guess you don't get too wet. So it's been raining for 2 days, so I don't know if it typically is like this. This might be one of the prettiest hikes we've been on, you think so?
Yeah.
Well, this is probably like one of the prettiest hikes we've ever been on. My so I'd say this might be the prettiest hike we've ever been on. Typically we go on hikes is to get to a waterfall, and this hike is just a continuation of waterfall after waterfall. And even though it's been raining, the water dripping adds a lot to the hike. Okay, Jody's going to tell us what we're looking at.
Frowning Cliff. This narrow part of the gorge receives so little sunlight that few plants grow here, and ice remains on the trail through late spring.
All right. No sunlight for this place. And it is middle of June, so I'm sure the ice has been melted for a while. So I was able to smile, hold my walking stick, hold my GoPro all at the same time. That's called talent, or just common coordination skills that everybody should have. So there's a series of waterfalls up there, a whole bunch of people. Water coming down from the thing. Just came from that direction. So except for the stairs up and down, this is not that hard of a hike. And the stairs are spaced out enough where you're not like getting overly exerted. So it looks like it's raining, but it's just the water dripping off the rocks. Like I said 34 times already, it's been raining for 48 hours here, I think. So lots of water in the on the rocks dripping. I don't know where the best spot is to walk without getting dripped on. I don't mind getting wet, but that water is a little bit chilly. So that's a pretty narrow little section there. We got a damn mess down there. So what makes me irritated is all the garbage down there. So when we were living in Utah, I'd kayak the Provo River, and every time I kayak, I took this like this recycling container, this rectangle container, and I'd pick up the garbage. I had some grabbers, and as I kayaked, not something like this, but I kayak, come up the debris fields like that, I'd get close and pick up as much garbage as I could until my container was full, and then I would obviously quit picking up garbage for that day. But what I did notice, I'd go kayaking maybe 3 or 4 times a month. After about the 3rd, 4th time, I really noticed how much of a difference that picking that garbage up, because a lot of that garbage, you could tell, had been there for months, stuck in a debris field. So I guess my point is, doing just a little bit makes a difference. The best thing to do is not throw stuff in the water in the first place, but I do understand that sometimes people are boating or tubing or something, or kayaking, your kayak falls over and your drinks fall in the river and you can't get them, because that's happened to me before. So I think that's what spurred me to pick up garbage. Is I tipped over in a kayak and lost my 2 water bottles and a shoe. So then after that point, I figured if I can I couldn't find those water bottles and that shoe, but if I could pick up other stuff, help compensate for it. I guess that's how I justified it. So I'm gonna pause this while I climb those stairs. We have gone a mile.
I think we gotta go that way.
So if you go that way, you go up to the top to the rim. So we've gone a mile, we've got a half mile to go, is that correct? Navigator?
Yeah.
Jody's the navigator.
We gotta go to that Jacob's Ladder and then we go right.
Jacob's Ladder. So the thing Jacob doesn't make too much of a, isn't too scary, but the term ladder is kind of scary when you're afraid of heights. So we're coming out of the gorge a little bit toward the top.
Oh, Jacob's Ladder. Ascend 180 steps to the upper edge.
Ooh, 180 steps. That's only like 18 stories. I mean, it's not like climbing the Sears Tower or anything like that. So, alright. Looks like this next spot is pretty flat, so I probably won't do much recording on that. So the first mile of the trail, going from east to west, is loaded with waterfalls and steps, and is the most scenic, probably. Not that this is not scenic, but the other part is more scenic. And at the 1 mile mark, you can cross the river and then head back to the trailhead. I paused that for a minute. Jody almost fell off that rock into the river, but she can swim pretty good. So that first mile is scenic with waterfalls. This part is easier to navigate if you probably can't walk up downstairs very well. So you probably come from the other direction. Well, wait a minute, I think there's 180 steps to get out of this gorge at the other end. So scratch that. But if you're coming from the other direction and you can't do the 3 mile hike, you can cut across the bridge and make it a 2 mile hike and skip this part. But we didn't drive 1,000 miles to skip things. Even if it would have been raining today, we would have came down here. So it worked out pretty good. We missed most of the rain yesterday and then drove in the rain. And then when we got here, we had, it was raining, so we sat in the van, and basically I planned out the next couple of days and caught up on a couple emails and some different things. A random steel beam down there. Must have been from a bridge that washed out at some point. There's a railroad bridge or something up there. Unless it's now a bike trail. Some more stair steps. Jody likes her flowers.
Especially when they're growing on a rock wall. Yeah, this weed in Illinois.
Okay, we are out of the gorge. So way down there, and don't know if you can see, is the gorge. So we came up Jacob's ladder. So I don't record walking up and down stairs for two reasons. One, for the safety of myself and others.
Look at the flowers, how they're polka dotted.
Polka dotted flowers.
What the heck? It's so neat. I've never seen anything like it.
So I don't film video going up and down stairs. So I don't want to trip and fall. And plus I can't breathe because I'm out of breath. So that was like 180 some steps coming up and out of there. And I think I only stopped once to get a breather. And that was mainly because there's people coming down some steps that was narrow, waiting for them to come down, so we wouldn't be in their way, trying to go up and pass them. At least that's what I'm telling everybody. So this is the North Rim Trail. So hopefully this is not up and down, because we got a lot of hiking to do yet today. Trying to save my energy a little bit. The problem with going on these vacations, you could spend, you know, like a whole day or 2 days at one park. But when you're limited with time, you can't, you know, you want to see a little bit of everything. So you gotta kind of pick and choose your, maybe the most popular or scenic trails that. So this will go back to a suspension bridge, and we'll cross that, and then
We'll be back on the other trail.
we'll be back on the South Rim Trail,
By where we started.
close to where we started.
Gorge Trail.
So we're on the North Rim Trail, Watkins Glen State Park, and so you come along, then there's these overlooks. This might be the second or the third one that we've come across, but you can come over and then look down. There's the bridge we were on. So I think that's the, maybe it's not. I think, is that the Mile Bridge?
I think so.
Could be the Mile Point Bridge that we went across. I don't know. We're just hiking. So we didn't want to walk. So if you go down there, you got to walk back up. So we're going to continue down the trail. Trying to get a video. So this is Suspension Bridge.
Alright, take care.
Yeah, you too.
And it's hard to get video on the suspension bridge because there's so many people up there. But down below the suspension bridge, there's, you can see the Gorge Trail down there. I don't want to drop my GoPro. So it's going to be a lot of people down there now. We took off like 8 o'clock or 8:30. There wasn't many people down there. Now it's starting to warm up, get nicer. Getting to be a lot of people. So we are, apparently we've done our 3-mile loop. So it didn't seem like 3 miles really. So there's people up there with that dog. We just got done talking to them a couple times. They didn't realize you couldn't take dogs on the Gorge Trail. They wanted to know if it was worth it. We told them if possible they should get rid of their dog, and not get rid of their dog, but so they gotta take the dog back to their camper and then come back and do the Gorge Trail. So they asked if it was worth it. I'm like, yeah. So that was the top 5 hike that we've ever taken. Watkins Glen Gorge Trail. All right, so that'd be the last video. Anything you want to summarize, Jody?
Nope.
Nope. No summarization from Jody today. So there's the lily pond. I was wondering where this trail went to that bridge. So, all right, that's it.